Hello everybody, Andy here. Warcry. I like to consider myself a little bit of a skirmish channel, not necessarily just a kill team channel, of all wargaming, if you will. Now, in the past, I may have been a smidge uncharitable to Warcry. I think that Warcry serves a purpose. I think it's an amazing beginner game. I think it is genuinely an amazing game to bring people into the hobby. And if that isn't worthwhile, I don't know what is. Couple of things. First off, it is in the second edition. It has not had an update for 2 years. It has just had an update. If that's not worth talking about, I don't know what is. Quick aside, I don't know enough about Warcry to kind of really comment on any of this. I am actually just commenting on the fact it's had an update and kind of showing you the sort of thing they've given in this update, because it's actually a really big update. All free, obviously. It's just a PDF download on their standard website in the downloads page, or on this web page, the news page itself. So I'm just going to look through that for a moment. However, quick note: I have recently, since I last recorded the video, and everybody called me some rather rude names for not liking Warcry, and they bullied me very genuinely and insulted me a lot. I played some more Warcry. If you're going to play Warcry, download this app, okay? It's called Warcrying. I believe it's on both iOS and Android. This makes it all better. You don't need to have all the... GW needs to get their digital rules sorted. That's all we're saying. Let's move on. Okay, so there's an update. You should, of course, go and watch whatever it is they've put here. Read it all. This is John. John is also the Underworlds and Age of Sigmar dev to some degree. We don't know if he's the lead or just one of the Legion. But he seems to be the face for both Warcry and Underworlds. And then if you're paying attention to the Age of Sigmar 4 release videos, he is among the panel there. There you go. Very cool. Now they've added just loads of stuff. So let's go ahead and take a gander. So, okay, here you go. You get all the usual stuff that you would expect from a rules errata update, etc., which is they're fixing a bunch of things. Like, they have one really awkward update, which is in the starter set, called Tide of Blood or whatever. They had to update kind of one of the rules where the example rules they gave, because they must have got that wrong, which is a little bit awkward. These things happen, no big deal. But then alongside that, we also have a treasure trove full of new... everything in magenta is new, which is good to see. At the moment, Kill Team is just doing a little asterisk. I don't much care for asterisks. I want colours, which is ironic because I'm colourblind and can't see colours. Anyway, moving on. They're also giving just loads of new data. These data sheets, these are new. There's just new data sheets. Isn't that super cool? Suddenly, everything that you bought, because you're an Age of Sigmar player, obviously, over the last 2 years is now in the game. Hey, what's had a full, huge release since Warcry dropped? Seraphon. Good news, you can now play your Seraphon in Warcry. That's really awesome. Is this somewhat confusing messaging, considering that GW recently scrapped all of Season 1 models from Warcry, from sale? Yeah, a little bit, but now they've updated it, so there you go. Let's keep going. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. There is actually one, which, again, I can't comment on. Whole bunch of new Seraphon, some new Dwarves, some new Quadrant Overlords, some new Demon. They're not called Demons, Nurgle dude, Slanesh dude. Whole bunch of new Chaos Ogroids, etc., etc. Whole bunch of new stuff. Very cool. I want to show you one more thing. Let's keep going. There's just one. Okay, here we go. I want to show you this points update sheet. Now, the reason I want to show you this points update sheet is because of late, since the weekend, my patrons know what's up. I've been, reintroducing myself to 40k. The reason for this is because, they recently released a points update document for 40k, and I just got hooked on watching Bricky complain about it for 50 minutes. I was just into that. And one of his big complaints, as I'm sure all 40k players will agree, is that the points updates there are just, number or name of the unit followed by the new points costs. It doesn't tell you what the previous points costs, but here it does. And I just thought I'd point that out because one thing I've noticed, for example, the K-Knight Shadow Stalkers at the top there, that's the faction, specifically, the Dark Flame Warlock is 100 points, and then it tells you that is 5 less points than it was before. It used to be 105, now it's 100. That is incredibly useful. That means that even you, a layman, can immediately come along and say, you know what, I can tell Carodran Overlords and Stormcast were doing too well in the until this points update, right? You can see a whole bunch of Thunderstrike Stormcast have gone up 10 points. That's very interesting to know. I can immediately start to get a little bit of a grasp on the game. That's really useful and cool and incredibly intuitive, even when you don't know the game. And that's kind of the other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know. Look, Age of Sigmar is significantly less played than 40k. We all know this. However, as someone that has an interest in both, I'm here to preach to you somewhat. Games Workshop doesn't put any effort at all into 40k because whatever they do, it will sell, and they know that. Games Workshop also knows that Age of Sigmar, despite all of the messaging they're putting out, and they are genuinely giving it straight up 50-50 levels of interest with 40k, they cannot sell a lot of their Age of Sigmar stuff. They just can't do it. It's mad. But because of that, they don't know that their Sigmar stuff will sell. Warcry, yes, but I'm really talking about Age of Sigmar here. Warcry Underworlds are also in a similar boat compared to the 40k IPs. But they actually put effort in. It's the small things. It's telling you the points difference between now and before. It's also things like, okay, so I've said this before, but if you in the past picked up they did it in 8th edition, maybe in 9th? I don't think they're doing it in 10th now. But they sold you that little, A5 size booklet to tell you the Munitorum Factorum manual, to give you the points updates. And for 40k, it was just a little flick book. It was a brochure, right? It was nothing. It was, why am I paying £30 for a points update and a new layout for my deployment layout, right? It was pretty cringe, to be honest. Moving away from that to digital makes total sense. However, the Age of Sigmar version, the General's Handbook, was a feast. It was genuinely one of the better looking products on the market, for miniature games, right? It was a beautiful spiral bound. It was hardback. It had reference on the back. It had tabs. It was a beautiful product. It was something that I would want to buy, even if I only play like one game a year. It was genuinely a lovely product. You could tell the product designers put genuine effort into it. And it extends to this right here. Such small, tiny things like telling you whether the points went up or down. There you go. Cool, good to see. Really like to see it. There you go, good stuff. Warcry got an update. Do I have anything to say to my detractors about me being so harsh on Warcry? Yeah, my bad. Warcry's totally fine. I obviously went too hard on saying I dislike it. I think it's totally fine. It's not really like something that I would ever make my main game, but I see the value in it. And I will say a lot of the things I complained about are things that no longer exist in the game. And the reason I now know that is because last time I was using the Warcry first edition cards and they had a bunch of bad decisions. But now, because I'm using the Warcrying app, and so I'm using the second edition cards, they're all fixed there. Because of course they were bad decisions and they were fixed. But I was still playing them, and so I had much more negative view on a lot of stuff Warcry did than I should have, because I was playing the first edition still. There you go. I just thought you'd find that interesting. I'm certainly going to go and play a little bit more Warcry. Maybe even this weekend, in fact. I've just finished painting up my black talons, so I might take them onto the field. It's not a kill zone. I don't know what it's called. Sundered Realm. Alright, thanks guys, bye.